They say humiliation is the cruelest form of entertainment. No one expected it to unfold under the blazing stage lights. Not in front of thousands of spectators, and certainly not at the hands of a world-famous singer. The moment it happened was so unexpected, so raw, it carved itself into the hearts of everyone present. It all began on a cool spring evening in Nashville, Tennessee. During the sold-out concert of Roman Cross, a music icon known as much for his voice as for his razor-sharp tongue. He was the face of modern country pop, draped in diamonds and swagger, with platinum albums and a reputation for roasting anyone who dared step out of line. His fans loved his unpredictability until it turned on one of their own. Among the 20,000 fans seated in the open-air arena was a woman named Eleanor Harper, Ellie to those who knew her. She wasn't glamorous. No perfect curls, no designer boots, no phone constantly ready for a selfie. Just a modest woman in her mid-30s, wearing a faded denim jacket and sitting quietly in the crowd. She had saved for months just to attend this one concert. For Ellie, music wasn't about show or status, it was a lifeline. Her father used to play guitar on their front porch in rural Kentucky, where they'd sing under the stars when the power would go out. Music was how they prayed, how they healed, how they held on. Ellie had lost her father the year before. Since then, her days were filled with shifts at the local diner, caring for her younger brother with Down syndrome, and replaying old recordings of her father's songs late into the night. She never sang in public. Her voice, raw, earthy, soulful, was something sacred, private, and utterly unknown to the world. Until that night, halfway through the concert, Roman Cross strutted across the stage with the confidence of a man who had the universe on a leash. He pointed into the audience, microphone in hand, scanning the crowd with predatory amusement. His eyes locked onto Ellie. "You," he said, smirking. "Yeah, you, in the denim jacket. You look like someone who thinks they can sing country common up here. Let's see what you've got." Laughter rippled through the crowd. Ellie froze. A spotlight hit her like a bolt of lightning. She shook her head, tried to disappear into her seat, but the camera crew had already zoomed in. Her face flashed onto the giant screens. Cheers, whistles. Then chants, "Sing, sing, sing." The security guard appeared, gesturing for her to come down the aisle. She could have said no, but something stopped her. Maybe it was the echo of her father's voice telling her not to hide. Maybe it was the burning shame on her cheeks that needed to turn into something else. Courage, maybe. Maybe she was just tired of being invisible. Heart hammering, Ellie walked up to the stage. Roman handed her the mic with a mocking grin. "Impress us," he said. The band behind him chuckled and casually picked up a tune. A familiar one, Southern Sky, Roman's most popular hit. Ellie stood still, the lights dimmed, the music played, and in the moment of silence before she opened her mouth, something shifted. She didn't just sing, she breathed the song into existence. The first notes left her lips like smoke, rising from an old chimney, warm, raw, haunting. The crowd hushed, phones lowered, even Roman's smirk faltered. Her voice was unlike anything anyone expected. It carried pain, hope, memory. She didn't try to mimic the style of the original. She made it hers. She sang like someone who knew what it meant to lose and still choose love. Her voice cracked once, right at the lyric, about holding on when the night is long, and that imperfection made it perfect. People in the crowd cried. A mother clutched her child. A man removed his hat. Teenagers stopped recording and just listened. One by one, thousands stood, not to jeer, but to honor. A standing ovation built, wave after wave, erupting with applause as she finished the final note. Ellie stood there, stunned, breathless. Roman Cross was speechless. For the first time in his career, he stepped back, microphone trembling slightly in his hand. "That," he said hoarsely, "was not what I expected." Ellie didn't wait for validation. She handed him the mic and left the stage with quiet grace. Tears in her eyes, not from humiliation, but release. The clip went viral overnight. Within 48 hours, the woman who silenced Roman Cross was trending across every major platform. People from all over the world commented, not on her looks or clothes, but on her voice, her heart, her story. Music producers reached out. Talk shows called, but Ellie didn't want fame. She went back to her quiet life, the diner, her brother, her town. But she started singing again. At the local open mic night. At church. At the nursing home where her dad used to play. And slowly, the world began to come to her. Months later, Roman Cross, in a rare act of humility, appeared on national television and issued an apology. I mocked someone I didn't understand, he said, and she reminded me why music matters. He offered her a record deal. She declined. But she accepted the chance to record one song, her father's favorite, with all proceeds going to a charity for families of special needs children. It debuted at #1. The final scene of this story wasn't played on a stage or through a screen. It was Ellie, barefoot on her porch, strumming her guitar under a southern sky, her brother clapping along beside her. She didn't chase fame, she embraced truth. And in doing so, she taught the world that you don't have to be loud to be heard, or glamorous to be beautiful. You just have to be real. Because sometimes, the purest voices come from the quietest places, and when they rise, they shake the heavens. The end.